See that body alignment right there? This is what I call the Teasley crab tree. And the Teasley crab tree is my definition of a half pass. And what it is a horse's hip going left, a horse looking left, and the horse's body alignment soft. That's the exact body position that a horse needs in order to correctly take their lead departures. So the reason that this horse, I believe, wasn't taking the correct lead, had started refusing to take the correct lead, was because of being braced on the inside. And the inside sometimes gets neglected when we start looking for why a horse might be doing what he's doing. And when we found that key, well, then things started working back as they should with this horse. So that's the video you're getting ready to see, is how we work through supposedly a lead change or a lead departure issue with an 18-year-old horse that knows how to be on the correct lead. So that's the video you're getting ready to watch. So I know you're going to enjoy it. And Dennis here at Cappel Training Shoe. We got an unusual situation here today, and that he's in for an evaluation. This horse is 18 years old and had been ridden a lot, and he's been shown as a dressage horse, and he's had a lot of different experience, a lot of trail riding, he's had cattle work done on him, so he's been around. And the young lady that owns him said that she was doing a lot of lead changes, and then things were going well, and then he started refusing to take the left lead. She said she's had him to a couple of other places for another person to ride for an evaluation to see what happened, and she said that he shut down, wouldn't move forward for them. So I'm going to just ride him around here a little bit and see what I'm feeling, and we'll go from there. I'll just call it play-by-play. Right now he feels pretty decent, and I'm asking him to go forward. And what I'm feeling right here that I will address before I start asking for very much at all is, to me, the horse is pushing down from the saddle. He's wanting to get his head down low. I don't mind a horse lowering their head when I've turned them loose, but when I take contact with the bridle reins and I see him pushing down right there, if they're pushing down on my hand like that, instead of coming up, there. So I'm wanting this horse to pick his head up first. That's going to be the first thing that I'm going to do is get this horse to pick that head up. Now, he's in complete freedom. When I asked for that forward motion there, he just started hitting a little pity-pat trot. And what I'm doing my best to convey to this horse is, when you feel my legs, it means come from behind and pick your front end up, pick your withers up, pick your neck up, your back up, and get off my hand. If he's pulling on my hands, I don't have anything, and I'm basically here at a walk, asking this horse to come from behind up into a soft feel. I don't have any pressure in his mouth here at all right at the moment. I'm trying to establish a little more respect from a rider up here to get this horse stepping forward. Get this horse stepping forward. He's reaching pretty nicely. Now he's in complete freedom. This is a necessary part of any riding, I think, is we get agreement that forward motion means to engage behind, pick your front end up, look up through the bridle, not down at the ground. When a horse gets looking at the ground too close in front of you, you don't have it's almost impossible to get them to engage behind as they need to. That's nice, very nice right there. See, with that time when I asked that horse to move that front end around, he picked that front end up and stepped around, so I've turned him loose right there. I didn't touch him with this thing. This is only in my hand. If he does not respond to my legs, I'm not going to let him not respond. He needs to get up, get up. It ain't like he's the first trip to town here and he's, you know, just getting started. This horse is 18 years old. He knows what's right. He knows how to be right. He's just been, I think, maybe holding back because he could. I asked him to move and he just kind of stalled out there and said, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Now he's hit a trot instead of walking forward nicely. I'm going to ask him to turn right here. Nice. Nice. He picked that front end up and came on through. He's still engaged behind. He's looking up through the bridle, doing exactly as he needs to act. The main lead issue that she said she was having was the left lead, so I'm going to ask for it first and see if I can get it. I've got him off my hands. He's getting off my legs. I'm going to ask for that canter right here. There's your left lead, but as he's going along, yes, he took the correct lead, but instead of coming up, looking up through the bridle, he grabbed a hold of the bit, was pushing down in the bit. Instead of picking his head up and engaging behind as he needs to. So I'm going to ask again for the left lead. Took the wrong lead to first. Need him to pick his head up. So my feet are active. Get up, get up, get up. Now he's got his head up a little better. He's in freedom. Come on, get up. If you notice that my right shoulder is behind my left shoulder, I'm using my left leg right there, right at the front cinch. I'm going to let him walk. Let him walk here. He took the correct lead. He listened to me. He let me pick his front end up. Felt kind of all right. And perhaps he's protecting himself somewhat, so why he's not fully engaging with his body. That's all right. That's understandable. I'm going to ask for this right lead and see what we have. Holding himself a little better this way. Wanting to bend a little more than I'd like. He'd want to look. The reason I'm not talking is I'm trying to get him to pick his head up. So when I say he's wanting to bend more than I would like for him to, he's wanting to look around to the right, which is taking this part of his body and sending it off out there to the left. And when they get themselves in all kind of shapes like that, it's harder for a horse to do the things that we want. So took the wrong lead. See if he can canter. He wouldn't let me hold him in the canter, and he dove that front end through there. I'm gonna see if he'll let me put him on the right lead here. I wanted to take the correct lead. I'm wanting him to pick up the right lead. Yeah. Picked it up, but then he hit a stumble step and then he switched back to the left lead. I'm wanting him to pick up the right lead. There we go. Come on, get up. Now I'm going to take my left leg off, put my right leg on. There's the correct lead. Wasn't very pretty, but it came down, so I'll let him walk as a reward for taking the correct lead. Changing leads. I'm going to ask for the left lead this time. Canter. Yeah. He wouldn't let me hold him in the canter. He dove in and took the right lead in the front there that time. So I'm going to ask for the left lead going this way. The reason he's picking up the right lead instead of the canter is because his shoulder is sticking off out here to the left. Yeah. Just looking for an opportunity to take that right lead instead of listening to me. That's the reason I want a canter. I need the horse to listen to me. There we go. Now I'm going to take my right leg off, sit here a minute. Now I've added my left leg. I'm picking up on that right bridle rein, sitting there. And there was the switch. Wasn't as smooth or as pretty as it could be, but as for that left lead here, correct. I'm thinking about sitting on this horse's right hip. My front end is open so he can pick his front end up in front of me. Come up. Hold that correct lead. I'm going to let him walk here. So I don't know why that he shut down on previous riders. I don't feel anything physically off in this horse that would make it difficult for him to take the correct lead. I think it was just perhaps maybe an inconsistency in how he was being asked. I don't know. Could have been. there might not have been the aid of an inside leg, because when I'm riding a horse that is having an issue picking up a lead or another, first thing I think about is how to position the hind end, and then I want to feel, what does it feel like in the front end. So if I'm going to take I'm going to turn directly away from you. If I'm positioning myself to take a left lead, the first thing I want is for the hip to be off just a little bit to the right, to the left, like that. When that horse gets in this position, now he's headed over to that post. That won't work as far as taking the lead. So he needs to look down the center of the barn, and he needs to be soft on that left side. And see, when he's feeling my right foot right now, he's wanting to jam that shoulder into the left. So he's got to be soft on the inside to take that. I'm going to turn around here and come back to you at a walk and show you. This would be a left lead departure body position. You see me bumping him right there with my left leg. And watch what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the rib and the shoulder slightly to the right over here, while now both legs are off of this horse, you see, and he stepped up into that position. Right there, that horse can take that correct lead easily. If he's jamming up because I put my right leg on there and he jams up right here, he's gonna probably take the wrong lead, and I suspect that's what's been happening. So we've got an issue of the left shoulder, left rib cage being braced in a horse is why he was refusing to take the correct lead. So I'm just taking that left bridle rein, and I've got a little life in it. See, I'm not just pulling on him, I've got a little life in it so that he can take that step right there, and then from this position he should be able to strike on off into a canter. Just see what happens. Perfect. He struck right off into it out of a stand, from a standstill to a correct lead when his body alignment was in the correct position. So I believe we've unlocked the mystery to the horse that had started refusing to do some things, and it almost always comes down to body alignment. It comes down to respect. It comes down to a rider knowing exactly what you want, not letting that horse not be right. I mean, it's got to be right there. You can't let him take us 4 or 5 steps in wrong and sit there and let him find freedom in that and expect him to believe you when you say next time, no, I wanted the other lead. He needs to know immediately, I'm either right or I'm not. I'm right or I'm not. And then he needs somebody there that can help him, you know, get that body softened up where it needs to be so he can do what he needs to do. So anyway, there's no need to go on anymore. That's what the issue was on this horse. I don't know why he would shut down on somebody other than frustration of continually over and over and over and asking him the same way and getting after him for not being on the correct lead, and ask again in the same way and not address this up here where the problem was. The problem was up here in his shoulder and the rib cage, why he wouldn't take the left lead. It wasn't back behind. So anyway, if you enjoy the content we're putting out, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much.